Around 10 years ago, I played soccer. We moved from England when I was little, and I was obsessed with soccer and FIFA. We lived in America, first in the city, then the suburban area. One night, I had a game or a practice. I can't remember. I think I actually had an indoor game. I don't know. Sometimes my dad couldn't take me, so a parent of the team drove me. I was 13 or 14 at the time. I got picked up, played, and got dropped off at home. No one was home. I think they all went out for a birthday meal or something. I really can't remember. I came home and there were deflated balloons on the driveway and balloons in the house. I assumed it was from the birthday decorations. I always locked my bedroom door, but the front door was always unlocked because we lived in a small town where crime never happened. I closed the blinds in my room. It was dark, probably 8 p.m. or 9. I did my business and turned the PS2 on to play some FIFA. I was super into it. And then all of a sudden, in the corner of my eye, the doorknob turned, like someone tried to turn it angrily because it was locked. I paused my game, expecting to hear my dad say, "Stop locking the door, we just got home." But I heard nothing. It was weird. It wasn't the wind because all the windows were closed. And it was winter. I resumed my game and then minutes later, it happened again. Only this time, right before it happened, I felt every hair on my neck stand. I jumped out of my chair, went into my covers, and was like, "What the heck?" I heard a very creepy laugh, like the guy from the original Stephen King's It. I was convinced it was a ghost or something, even though nowadays I don't really believe in that kind of stuff. I waited under the covers for a good hour. Back then, you were lucky if you even had a mobile phone at that age. So I couldn't call my dad without getting to the house phone, which was in the kitchen. I grew the courage to open the door, and I did. No one was there. All the lights were off, though, which was weird. And there were red hairs all over the floor. It didn't make any sense. No one was home, and I called my dad, and he said he was out drinking and wouldn't be home yet. They came home later, and I didn't think anything of it to tell them what had happened, because they would say I was crazy or something. A few days later, a story on the news came about a man escaping a mental institution and walking around the town very late at night, dressed as a clown, and was breaking into people's homes. My parents had gone out of town for the weekend, and I had decided to stay behind to catch up on some work. At first, I was happy to have the house to myself, but as the night wore on, I began to feel uneasy. I tried to distract myself with my work, but every creak and groan of the old house made me jump. I tried turning on some music, but even that couldn't drown out the sense of unease that was growing inside me. As I was about to head to bed, I heard a strange noise coming from upstairs. It sounded like footsteps, but I knew that I was the only one in the house. I tried to shake off the feeling of fear that was creeping up on me, telling myself that it was just my imagination. But then I heard the footsteps again, louder this time, and I knew that something was wrong. I crept up the stairs, my heart pounding in my chest. As I reached the top, I saw a figure moving in the shadows. It was tall and thin, with long fingers that seemed to stretch out towards me. I froze, not sure what to do. But then, the figure turned towards me, and I saw his face, or rather, I saw the lack of a face. It was just a blank, featureless void. I screamed and ran back down the stairs. But as I reached the bottom, I heard the figure following me. It was moving faster now, its footsteps echoing through the empty house. I knew I had to get out of there, but my keys were upstairs. I was trapped. As the figure drew closer, I saw it was holding something in its hand. It was a knife, glinting in the dim light. I thought that it was the end for me, that I was about to be killed by some unknown intruder. But then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the figure vanished. I stood there, shaking with fear and confusion. I didn't know what had just happened, but I knew that I never wanted to be home alone in that house again.